It's your hostess with the mostest, the High Priestess Phoenix. Your own personal spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, and messenger of God. On a Mercury day, and the crowd goes wild. What's up, everybody? Hey, shout out to the new subscribers. Hope I can take you through this. I'm here to shock the shit out of you and hopefully wake your ass up. You know, send some electric waves at your brains. Welcome to the journey of the dark night of your soul. Well, we will be diving deep into your harsh feelings about how you judge the world and how you see yourself in it. Yes, we are here to break down your mechanisms. What's up, what's up? In order to keep up with me, you probably would have had to catch something in my community. The only thing I could think about is what fucking Marshall did this morning. I was laughing. Oh my God. But that's the divine comedy in itself. Is he was just part of a bigger plan that he caught that fucking energy. Isn't it a fucking energy, huh? He's like, on the same day I was like, yeah, this is me. I give blowjobs. He's like, aren't you just tired of blowjobs? I'm like, the sting off. I've been laughing about it all morning. I was like, I hate you. I hate you. And I realized your hate turns into a love. When you really tell someone like that, I fucking hate you, it means I love you. You're stupid. I told him, I was like, the worst part of this is going to go so viral of you doing fucking... He took one for the team. It's like, don't look at her. He took the sting out of a blowjob. It's like, it's enough. It's good. I'm tired of it. As I told you, he's always trying to compete. You like some outstanding people, but you don't want to be upstaged. He upstaged the shit out of me. Except for he didn't have a real dick. Let me show you how it's done. Come here. For those that don't know what I'm talking about, go look at his Instagram. It's gonna fucking make you fucking quiver. I swear. First thing in the morning. Oh man. But we were in that energy, bro. What? Some dick sucking ass energy? I'm so sorry, but it's so fucking funny. That's my twin flame. We both are going through it just very differently. I saw this working out differently for us. I told him a week ago. I was like, do you have same struggles with sex? Is that why you haven't been intimate with anyone? I was like, don't make me have to be the one that have to fucking go do it and then come back and tell everybody what it was like. This is exactly what I told him last week. He upstaged me. So this was like, Is that what you see? I'm sorry. You want to be all, and that's it. We faced our shadows collectively. God is fucking with us, bro. This is a whole fucking game show, bro. It's so funny. Once you get on it, it sucks. Yeah, you're like, you know, these days come, bro. What am I hearing? Mike. Mike Stud wants in on this. I bet you do. He wants you to milk the cow. Oh, God. Help me, Jesus. We're in the dark again. This is my area of expertise. I just want to tell you. And he's trying to upshine me, and it's like, no, you cannot. You cannot. You did a really... He's going to go viral with that shit before I ever did. He we took the sting off of it. By the time they get my videos about blowjobs and shit, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, and they're just gonna have a visual of him. I love you so much. That's pretty much all I've been through today. I mean, obviously, you have to go back to the beginning to understand how we got right here. I mean, just in general. But like, that was the whole healing process. Is I was very ashamed of my sexual acts with my first twin flame, and I wore a lot of condemnation, and I was just. And then I came to the video last night where I explained that now it makes sense why I was so sexual. That it's just my animalistic nature to show love in such ways, you know. And I come to this, you know, I'm okay. Who wants a blowjob, right? Just joking, but sort of, you know. And then here he comes out like that. You just have to see the bigger picture. I was like, we're on the big screen, and it is hilarious. I mean, ugh. Anyways, it was a good joke. It was a good story. So we're gonna I got back to my car. Oh, and I posted that. My kids, you know, as soon as I get into the car, I'm like, you guys go outside and play so I can, you know, put all this shit away and stuff. And they go out, and just like my son, you can hear him playing and stuff with his imagination. It's like it forces them to get out of their fucking little space and go outside. Go outside for a minute. And it's a beautiful thing, because then they start exploring and they start having fun, and they come back and tell me all the things they found, and they're little kids again. Right? And I get to be with them, and I had shared that. It's like I don't have any memories of my kids as small kids. I have tragic memories, and you know, that I have to heal, but I don't have memories, and I get to create new memories now. And so all of this traveling and all of this stuff, these are my memories that I will have for the rest of the trouble and everything. But they had good memories of the house. They were spoiled rotten and everything like that. So they have all their memories. But I was talking about that. It's like, you know, dude, by the time I left, I was ready to go. I was ready to go last night. There was just too many people. I was just tired of it. I really enjoy a space, but I don't want to be around people in my space. And that's why I want to live in an RV, and I want to be outside. People are great, but in small doses. And I've been like, I took on thousands and thousands and thousands of people over, you know, the last 3 days that I've been gone. And I'm like trying to ground myself. It's like I can't even find the ground. It's like I have just been everywhere and back in 3 days, but I haven't. I was only 20 minutes away. I'm like, oh my God, is that Eminem? That's all I've been doing all day. My son's like, just stop. I cannot stop. That is forever sealed in. I approve of this message. That's what I said. Are you out here? I didn't say it, but I did say it in the post. It's like, are you out here sucking dick for Snoop Dogg? I would never make you do that. Anyways, he's on a mission. He's in that missionary position. God. I'm trying to bend him over backwards. He's trying to do missionary shit. Too much fun. I love my twins. Alright, that's going to make someone jealous. You can't compete where you don't compare. We're just like that. Alright, where are we at in our dark mirrors? As if we didn't know. Let me find the blowjob card. Oh God, you guys. They're gonna make memes of that shit. I can't wait. It's gonna be great. Remember how they did the Will Smith meme? Oh fuck, this is gonna be great. I will not cry for you. I'm crying. I'm trying. All right, number 22. I turned to fragmentation instead. Pretty close, 27. Let's see here. Third quarter moon, it's a stage of acceptance. Sometimes when it's over, closure must be created, not just found. With the back of the light of the moon, a beautiful woman with deep blue eyes sheds dry tears of blood. She holds in her hand a drop-shaped vial, full of blood as well, and she gestures forward as if offering it. Sentence: I gave you my last gift. I shed my last tear for you. It's time not to let you free, but to let myself free. Okay, I'm really on cloud 9, and they're going to try to pull me down. So give me a minute to figure out what this has to do with my life. In the sense of, a lot has happened in the last 24 hours where it was so much, I got to be honest, I noticed it was just a shutdown. I was not, I think I just kind of went into shock. Not full disassociation, because I still was aware of what had just happened. But I just didn't, I don't know if it was a feeling overload, because I didn't have any feeling. I was just numb to what had happened, to what what I learned, the ego death of yesterday, right? So let's see what we can pull out of my fucking, esophagus. Breaking up can only be done by two persons. One will either do it earlier, maybe, but sooner or later the other one will follow. One can afford to do it with words and actions. The other probably will only be able to inside their own heart. Meaning it's over, but you can't just let it go. Oh, gosh. You got to understand that was very painful to realize, is that all that we can offer each other is our bodies. I had this reflective moment, it's like, for the twin flames. First off, obviously, there must be an awe, because I'm in union with my twin flame after so long. And going back to it, this is what I must teach my twin flames. In the beginning, I ran because I thought I wasn't good enough for him. I'm worse off than I was in the sense of my materials. But in that life, when I faced him, I just felt that my material life wasn't good enough. But it was actually too much for him and intimidating, 100%. But I just felt that I needed to be more in the material world for him to accept me. And so I went on these journeys. Same with Russ, same with all of them. I have to fix myself, or you'll never love and accept me the way that I am. I had to fix myself to feel that way, but it wasn't anything. I kept thinking that when I would do these things, it would bring them in. They'd stop running away from me. I'd stop chasing this idea. When I finally could fix them, that's what they say, you would magnetize this person. You magnetize yourself. Synchronistic, I see. In the sense of, you accept yourself and you love yourself enough to where it is actually mirrored in this other person. But what I really noticed is, like, I spent all this time running, waiting for it to be a chase, and all I had to do was come back. He never had the power. I always had the power to be in union, but I was powerless until I did the healing. Do you know what I mean? It's been a very long journey. And the journey was like, I had to do all these things for him to accept me into his life. I had to do all these things to accept myself and walk back into his life. He didn't come to me. There was no fucking knight in shining armor. I had to just go back to where I started. You have this vision that they're going to come and rescue you, but you rescue yourself along the way, and then you just walk up on them. Where it's like, everything I thought I needed you to be, I didn't, and I understand why I needed it, but it wasn't really, and that goes back to it. I thought I needed to be something more, to have more a relationship with him. Not understanding we already had a relationship that could only grow more if I was more compassionate, understanding, forgiving, and without limitations, meaning conditions. If it was more unconditional, and that's where it started. If you don't leave your wife, then I'm not fucking with you. Then there was no place for anything. There's, you know what I mean? It's like you box them in. And I did it to Russ. If you don't leave your fucking family, I'm not fucking with you. And I kept doing it. If you don't leave these things, I'm not fucking with you. Now, it didn't mean I didn't love you. It just means that I can't love you fully unless you leave this shit. And that's what he said. Why does someone have to ruin their life for you to feel loved? And I didn't fully get that. Over and over, I didn't fully get it. And I kept telling everyone, you need to leave your life to feel loved. Because of what I experienced, I believe that to be the truth. But in the sense of, he didn't have to leave his life for me to feel the love that he had for me. I just needed to accept it. And that's the same with Russ. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to change for me to know how much he loves me and for me to love him back. But you think that they have to meet a certain standard, like Stan or the other dirt. You think you have to meet this invisible standard inside of your head, which is my Russ the Bust. We believe we have to be what you want us to be in order for us to be loved. And he is my prime example. But when I came back, I was still just as, you know what I mean? This is me. I was still, less materialism, but still the same shut out. I mean, far more magical, but I don't put that out there. You know what I mean? All the things that I have gained, I don't show. It's just, look, this is all the things I've lost, and this is all I know. And that's it, going back to this last week. He didn't know I was homeless. He didn't know a lot of things. And it's like, why didn't he know these things? Because I didn't tell him, because I was ashamed. Because I didn't want, I thought everybody was paying attention, but he stopped watching a long time ago. Why would he do that? Because I closed the door on him. If I told you I didn't want to talk to you, then, respectfully, okay, no. And so there was a lot he didn't know, and looking back, it's like, well, it didn't stop anything. It didn't change how he felt about me. He just felt a little bit more sad about me. He pitied me more, but in that sense. And so, to my twin flames, you and your journeys, you think that you're chasing yourself so that they'll come to you. But when you find yourself, you'll be ready to go back to them. And it won't be easy, because when you get back to them, you'll see that they are nothing more than yourself. And that's what it is. I know how to tend to these boys because I've learned how to tend to myself. I know what Russ needs because he has the same needs as me. I know how to talk to Bobby because he needs to be talked to the same as me. I know how to get to Marshall because, it gets both of us. And that's it. That's that unconditional mirroring effect of where this person is reflecting your inner healing. It doesn't mean you heal them, but by you healing yourself and showing that self-love you gave to yourself now to this person, you are healing that person. But you don't know how to do that until you've already healed yourself. Great shit, right? Great shit. Okay. Breaking up can only be done. And that's where it is. It's like, that's what I said. I'm not your ex-girlfriend because we weren't girlfriend and boyfriend. I'm not your side chick because I never was that bitch. I'm not any of these things. But we have a very special relationship. And I love you more than any of those, your wife or any of those people could ever love you. And it's like, it's a breakup to the idea of what I thought we were or weren't, and an acceptance to what we are and how special that is. You know what I mean? And one can only afford to do it, or one can afford to do this with words and actions. That would be me. The other probably will only be able to do so inside of their heart. And that's it. It's painful, it's definite, and it's hard. It's sometimes necessary. Breaking up is not just letting go of a person. You're letting go of a part of yourself, of hopes and dreams and trust. You let go of the feelings and the memories. And that's what it means to let go. I believed in us. I believed that we could do this. I believed that I could make you happy. I believed that you were going to make me happy. I worked real hard at this. I worked hard. I told you all my secrets. I invested. I planted this seed. And this damn plant is just dead. And I keep wanting to, put it in the sun and water it some more. And hopefully it'll grow. But it's just a dead plant. And I'm just holding on to it, hoping it'll sprout new, You let go of feelings and memories. And that's it, because your feelings you don't feel the same way about them. And your memories start changing because now you have new feelings and those become your new memories. However you felt about them before starts to get distorted. And that's where I can't see how I felt about Russ. But I know it was there. They remind me. There's the music and there's other things, those videos. I have memories of crying real hard about him. I'd cry the hardest about him. I just wish he'd leave me alone. I wish he'd just stop. I wish I'd stop hurting about him. Spent many, many months crying about him. But I don't know how I felt. I can only see. And those are the memories I have. I don't know why I cared so much before that. And that's kind of what it is with, Bobby. I don't know why I felt so much for you, but now all I'm left with is all these feelings of what we've been through. Whatever it was before, I don't even know. That's what I told Russ. What the fuck has happened? You know, like I liked him. I loved him. I loved him until I didn't. You let go of the emptiness you felt and the connection you relied on to. And that's it. I used to talk to him every day, all the time. Russ and I had the strongest psychic connection. All the time. He could hear if I was talking to someone else. Very jealous. He could always be there until we didn't vibrate on the same energy anymore. And it was slow and it was sad, you know, because he was always there in the quiet spaces. And then he wasn't. Anger will help in the beginning, but the last part of the road can't be done just by anger. Closure comes when you dry up your tears. It is a gorgeous moment when you allow yourself to frankly don't give a damn about it. All that was past is not a credit or a debt. It's just suddenly no more than a gift. You can raise your chin. After all, tomorrow is another day. And that's just it. At one point, you gotta, you know, I'm seeing Sleepless in Seattle. You just got to pick your head up. You just got to keep going. You just got to keep believing. You just got to keep breathing. One day at a time. And if I've learned anything, God will give you someone else to love again when you're ready to let that part out. I wasn't. And sometimes I don't. You know what I mean? It takes a lot to want to let that much out of you after you've done it again. But you know, the healing process is just more a recovery. I've been through a lot in a couple of years. I gave my whole life and soul to somebody. I need to like really give my life and soul back to myself a little bit right now. So, yeah. There's nothing to cry about anymore. When it comes to him and me and our situation, if we're talking about it, you know, as far as twin flame number one, I accept it. I accept, you know, what it is. And it wasn't that. When I woke up, it almost seemed like a beautiful, oh God. It was a fairy tale to me in the beginning, and I played that fairy tale, and I got very mad at God, and I tried to fight my psychic abilities and everything when I realized it wasn't fucking what I saw. It's like, why did you lie to me? I said, if you didn't believe in that, you wouldn't have kept going. Sometimes we just need to believe the illusion, just to have hope something. I didn't want to ruin their relationship, but I had this weird delusion that if I just healed myself, he'd come back to me. That's delusional, bro. But I believed it, and many twin flames do. And it's not fully a lie. But there's a lot of, you know, truth and lies in all the shit we read. And so, you know, that's what made me keep going. I started in the beginning wanting to be pleasing to him. And then I had to start, you know, after I gave up on him, I was trying to please Russ. And after Russ, it was Allie. It was always Lewis, and it was always fucking Marshall, and I'm always just trying to please someone. But in pleasing them, I'd get to a point where I couldn't, and I'd have to just accept that I'm okay with me. I'm good enough. I can't be any better than this, and if you don't like this, this is fine. And I would take it as rejection that I wasn't good enough, and I'd just move on. Fine, I'm not good enough. I'm out of here. It's been a long-ass journey. I knew they were going to pull some shit out of me. I was just happy-go-lucky that we had to do this bullshit. This bullshit. Let's see what's up with our dark goddess. Remember to get these and the book and the reclaiming your stuff if you want to keep up. Why? Because it's always going to be the deal, bro. We don't need to upgrade and buy the newest stuff. There is some cards that I do need to get that I've been manifesting for almost a year now. They're only like $2, but it's like when the time is right, we have to stay in the energy that we have. We can't just be wanting to jump into a new grade of energy until we're there. Where are we at right now? Oh, shit. That's 2 times that we pulled Aradia, and I've got the Aradia of Gospel cards with me. We're talking about being a witch, bro, and teaching the witchhood. That's all about where I'm at, too. Yep. Defense. Defense! She's literally the first card, one of the first cards in here, too. All right, 16 and 17. Sticks and stones, words of fear, defend, stand strong, shed a tear. Attacks ensued to cause harm, protect, safeguard, and keep, or to cause alarm, protect, safeguard, and keep from harm. By the power of the dark goddess in me, protection in place. Blessed be. There are only so many times one can endure harsh criticism, judgment, and unfair comments. You feel that you are always under attack, so defense has become your immediate response mechanism. Sadly, I'm seeing Russ, because you feel you have to defend that part of you that others fear to understand, you are dimming your light somewhat to avoid persecution. Aradia will guard you well as she encourages you to ignore opinions of others, fully embrace exactly who you are, and remind you that the power lives within you. And that's what I was trying to say about that whole thing about Marshall. It's hilarious. But as I'm sitting here trying to embrace the sexual animalistic nature of myself, he comes out and just is like totally an animal about it. And I love it. There's an interesting helicopter. There's parts of us, and that's just this week. I'll find another part of me that I denied later. We just keep finding parts that don't necessarily love and need to love more. You need to share with the people more. Aradia will guard you well as she encourages you to ignore the opinions of others. Mystery and magic of the old ways beckons, and Aradia encourages you to tap into the ancient wisdom of the power of nature. I heard somebody asking me about these crystals in the, in the collective. Those are Lumerian light seed crystals. They're used for shadow work. They have hidden, if you look real closely, you see those lines? They're hidden codes for shadow work. So if you want to know more about the Lumerians, that was my Sunday picture, the Sunday card I pulled, which was home. You know what I mean? So I always keep the Lumerian seed, like Lumerian light, there's whatever, stars, I don't know, Lumerian seed, light, clear quartz crystals. Those are for shadow work, so we always keep those open so we can always keep the gates. And that's again, going back to it is, I use crystals that have energy. I use herbs, I use oils, all of that shit. All of that is what we use for healing and banishment, protection, abundance, love, and all that bullshit. All right. Defend your path of those who have been oppressed, for there is no need to seek the approval of others. Aradia defends your divinity. Dark Goddess Foresight. Quit being on the defense. Past hurts are affecting your reactions. Never mistake kindness for a weakness. Stand strong in your convictions. Connect with the magic of nature. Defend your cause. Be proud of who you are. A vulnerable person or animal needs your help. I'm ready. The defender of Roman origin, or Aradia, was sent to teach people, especially the poor and oppressed, how to perform witchcraft and magic to defend them against oppression, exploitation, and ridicule. And that's why she keeps coming up, is that's what I do. I teach the poor people, you know what I mean, how to perform witchcraft and magic and defend against oppression, exploitation, and ridicule. How to feel okay in your skin even though we're not a win-win like them. And that's what I teach it to. But again, I'm teaching it to celebrities too, which is quite amazing. But, and that goes back to Lilith. Lilith is the patroness of witches and priestesses. I've always taught you how to use these powers to defend yourself and protect yourself and heal yourself. Jesus came and did the same thing. And as soon as, that's what Mary Magdalene stepped in and said yesterday. She became a witch the moment she started preaching the powers. The moment you start preaching, you're either a preacher for a religion or you're a witch. You're empowering people. You're empowering them. You're giving them tools to use to make themselves, to free themselves from oppression. And, exploitation and ridicule. And that's where I am, is I'm showing, I've been placed as homeless to show you to stop fucking judging us. Stop, I'm teaching them how to heal themselves, but I'm showing you to have compassion for these people that you've cast out. Yep, Ardia. And I did bring her cards. I went and got those. I only brought 4 cards, and I brought those because I saw her. She popped up yesterday, and that's really what I'm doing. I'm in my priesthood. I'm here spreading the witchhood in the name of Jesus Christ, and that's the balance. You know what I mean? I'm taking your God, and we're meeting your God is meeting our goddess. You're going to meet the goddess. And I'm going to show you all flavors of who I was and all the other goddesses alike me. On top of it is the hedge. So here's the Gospel of Aradia. I got them, I don't know, probably right before I left Colorado. Have we gone through all of them? Absolutely not. I'm going to go with this card because it's right on the front, and it kind of looks like Davy Jones, and it's really like right in front of me. I don't remember reading it, but the shadow's right under it too. So we're handling it, the hedge. Oh yeah, and they start with incantations. Oh no, not these ones. Alright, let's see. Hierarchy, games, the hedge. Find and hold your own personal boundaries. We can't be completely open with everyone. Having healthy boundaries is an act of positive self-love. Our plant allies can help and nourish us. Plant a medicine garden. There is vervain, there is rue, woodworm, and the hedge. We collect the earth, we collect the dew. Wrap around my home this living protective shield. Healing and defensive, only to love shall it yield. Okay, I tried to say that yesterday in my video. It's like, you know, all of those herbs and shit that you see in Harry Potter I use. All of this is in my car. Vervain, rue, woodworm. I teach you all of this. All of it we use. I teach you how it works and what I use it for. Historically, a witch's garden held many treasures, and when it included an herbal hedge, could also protect her from prying eyes. The term head witch comes from the medical hedge, which many European witches grew. The hedge usually or virtually encloses the garden and provides privacy not just for the practitioner, but for her visitors as well. A large part of Aradia's gospel concerned the use of herbs for health, balance, and healing. Infections were caught with garlic, and it's funny, I just had a talk with him. He said he had, we were talking about the mice, and canela, which is the same thing you use. It's a canela candle that you use for camping and shit. It gets rid of bugs. It works for mice too. And I told you that garlic works for all of them. Just keep a garlic and all of it stays away. All those blood-sucking animals. I learned that on my own in fucking Oklahoma, which has antibacterial properties. Parasites were killed with woodworm, pain relieved with a potion of deity, and that's what I used last time, the deity of Crete, and white willow bark. And that's it. We have, I have all of that, which contains the same active ingredients as aspirin. Strege also used many ingredients from the hedge in their midwife practices. Olive oil erased stretch marks and birth canal. Red clover cleared clots and placenta. Red raspberry leaves were tonics for the uterus, and vervain was the restorative and astringent. Rue, with the triple branch stem, could be seen as a symbol for the Strigorian pathway, as it was used during birth, in marriage ceremonies, and in funerals. Even with humble dandelion was used to increase urine production as both a blood and digestive tonic. Okay, and that's where they make dandelion tea. And that's what you do. When you have a fucking UTI, a urinary tract infection, meaning like your piss is burning, you drink cranberry juice. Everybody knows that. When you're fucking sick to your stomach, you drink ginger ale. That's ginger. You know what I mean? There's certain things that when you're fucking hungover, you eat you some menudo. When you're sick, you have chicken soup. You know what I mean? These are witch remedies where I will brew you something up and will make you feel all better. I'm seeing a hot toddy. The dark side of herbalism and hechuy is poison making, and also the skill of the strege. Most known herbal concoctions could harm, and the Romans, it is said, were masters not only of the art of poisoning, but the art of counterpoison and antidote. And that goes back to all of the, they have to have an antidote for stuff. I'm seeing poison ivy and poison oak, and those poinsettias that you use on Christmas, those red plants, poinsettias, they're poisonous. You're putting poisonous plants on Christmas in your house and shit because they look pretty. You know what I mean? And that's just it. It's like you wonder why you guys are all sick and shit. The substantial herb knowledge has its origins in Egypt. It was further formalized in ancient Rome by physicians such as However, because the church saw the practice of medicine as an attempt by physicians to play God, it was discouraged, while those who were ill were encouraged to pray and seek faith healing. And that goes back to the persecution of drugs. They said that marijuana was, illegal. They made it illegal to use marijuana because this was a, healing remedy. Same with mushrooms. Same with everything. You know what I mean? All of it comes from the earth. It's just what we do with it and how we manufacture it. That fucking fentanyl comes from the earth, bro. They just tweaked the fucking, tweaked it in a lab, in a fucking pot, if you will, with some fire. They added water and fire and mixed some fucking herbs together and came up with this shit. Everything comes back to it. And so, they take away things. They took away the tobacco fields. They took away, they took away, alcohol and stuff. Alcohol is nothing more than fermented fucking vegetables and shit. You know what I mean? I think vodka is made from potatoes. You know what I mean? We know that wine is made from grapes. Beer is made from yeast and shit like this. You know what I mean? And they took away the things of the earth that we could use to heal ourselves, and they put their own label on it. So like, you know what I mean? Weed is illegal unless you have it, you know what I mean? It comes in a container and you can show that you bought it at a store, meaning they got to tax you. You know what I mean? That was the liquor. Unless they get to tax you on it, you're not allowed to touch this shit. They took it away only so that they could fucking control it and then give it back in small portions and at large amounts. Going back to these people that are, that are bound to pharmaceuticals and they'll die without these pills. If they took the time to understand what was in the pill, we could fucking break the code. And I'm seeing Lorenzo's Oil. Damn, that's a scary movie, guys. That one will fuck your life up. I saw it when I was a child. Lorenzo's Oil, this kid had I can't even tell you now what he had, but he had an unbelievable diagnosis. And his parents actually broke the code. It had something to do with gluten. And they were able to, he had some neurological thing in his head that he had no control of his body. And it ended up being just a deficiency of a specific fucking, you know what I mean? They just needed to feed him something. And that's it. Mr. Plum, when I got to Mr. Plum's, he had all these pills for fucking leg cramps. Tons of them. I'm like, just eat a banana. He's like, oh, but I have diabetes and I got to watch my sugar. I was like, but you don't eat any sugar. There's not that much sugar in half a banana. So now he keeps bananas and he'll eat half a banana. And it's just that. It's like, when you have a cough, you take tea with honey and lemon and it gets rid of it. It's all back to it, back to Mother Earth. But they, the corporate America, the corporations took and that's where it is. That's what happened in Argentina and that huge war that happened, and with Cuba and all of that shit. It was all a fight over the production of our fruits that came from Argentina. That's the whole reason that America stepped in. They were going to lose their fruits. They needed it. And that's what they do too, is they go to these third world countries and they fucking take their resources, same as fucking Columbus and the Britons and shit. They come and take their fucking resources. That goes back to, Arizona, where I learned what they were doing to them. Take all their resources, take all their land, and then use it for themselves. You know what I mean? Now the people have nothing to eat and no way to make money. Bastards. And that's why we need to learn how to grow our gardens again, so we don't need to depend on, the Matrix. The Matrix just made us dependent, but we have the knowledge, the seeds, the wisdom. We can grow our own gardens. We can be self-sufficient. And that goes back to my own utopia. I had to learn that in Oklahoma. How do we farm? I learned how to farm. I learned how to kill a cow. I learned when to kill a cow. I learned how to fucking which animals we can eat and when we eat them. How to feed them, how to care for them. All of that. We need to learn it, because I'm not going to do this anymore. Have you seen the size of a chicken breast at the store? Even if you could buy it, which is probably about $16 right now, the breast is bigger than mine. It's filled with hormones and it's filled with all this shit, and you wonder why your bodies are falling apart, because they're putting all this shit to, to mass, so they can have mass product of it, but the products that they're giving us are deadly and disgusting. And that's what everybody around the world says about Americans and our obesity. It's not how much we eat, it's what we're eating. It's what we're putting in our bodies, what they're putting in us, and we have, we're limited by our choices. Organic, expensive. It's extremely expensive, so we need to learn to just be organic. We can grow our own tomatoes. There's an almanac that tells you. There's, That's what I learned about Oklahoma too, is they get 2 seasons of farming. They have an autumn farm and a spring farm. You know what I mean? You can eat. You just have to learn how to do it all. And we're learning the old ways, of course. All right. Over time, much medicine plant knowledge was lost. However, the original tradition kept at least some of the herbalists craft alive, and by the mid-1500s there was a resurge in the use of plants for the witch's hedge. And that's where it goes back to it, because you know what I mean? I'm seeing a pizza. Again, every culture, you know what I mean, has what we call as staples. Every culture has a bread, right? So, you know, in the Mexican culture, it's tortillas. In the Hindu culture, you know, it's they have many of them. It could be the pita bread or it could be the naan bread. In America, we use all different types of bread, but it's always a bread is there. There's always a vegetable. There's always a meat. There's always a fruit. We came up with this fucking 4 food groups, and we told everyone that they had to eat them all day, and then everybody got all fucking fat and shit like that. But a typical plate was always that. The bread is made from the grain. The vegetables grow. The meat is the animals on the fucking, you know, that's available. The fruit are all grown. Ta-da! Where do your clothes come from? Cotton fields, mostly. Most of your clothes are fucking cotton. You know what I mean? All of this is these are all materials of the land. You know what I mean? And they go to these third world countries and have them make the materials, and we sit there and upcharge, you know, and put a designer name on it. And ta-da! You got Russ's $700 shirt with his ugly fucking face on it. The defense card. Yeah, I'm always on defense with him because that's what I was programmed, and I realized that, and that's why I started laughing. We'll work on that. Is there anything else that we needed to talk about? We went through the mirrors. I think Dante should be here. There should be, yeah, a Dante card. So yeah, there was some stuff there, some ups, some downs, some lefts and rights. Oh, and then there's that guy. The Price of the Ferryman, number 9. This is where we are in our purgatory. We're going through a certain level of the Dark Night. Some levels can be proclaimed to be scarier than others, depending on what you're fighting in there, what shadow of yourself you're fighting in there. Let's see. It's just yourself. Nobody's in there with you. Our wandering heroes arrive at the river Styx. When a boat approaches, a ferryman, Philagis, attempts to claim the living Dante's soul, but he is rebuked by Virgil and lapses into acrimony. Divination. A king in life, Philagis was condemned for his deeds of vengeance against the gods, whom he believed had wronged him. Now he derives pleasure only from bringing others into a place of torment. Alright, that goes back to our fallen, meaning we gain pleasure watching you learn our lessons. Watching you, misery loves company. Oh, you did what I did. This is going to be great. Let's see if they treat like they treated me. And as far as Philagis, you know, that could be anyone. You took my kid. So I'm going to curse this life, and I'm going to curse God. I'm going to curse his children. It's that simple. It can be that simple. Truthfully, is, you know what I mean? Is you're condemned for your vengeance against God, whom you believed has wronged you. His kids are him. How you take your vengeance out on his kids is you taking your vengeance out on him. Trust me, I'm Lilith. I know. So you're condemned, and you love watching other people be miserable just like you. Now he derives pleasure from only bringing others to a place of torment. Our ever-active minds can easily play tricks on us, especially when we feel slighted or treated poorly by another. And that's it. What did you say? They're trying to get over on me. They're trying to play me. You're trying to fucking act. You're trying to play games with me and this and that. Oh, they're showing me. Oh, that could be you. I felt slighted. I felt like Wolfman was playing too many games, and I got really cocky with him. I'm like, you better fucking stop. I don't know what the fuck you're doing, dude. But if I sent you messages and you want to act all stupid and not reply to my messages, then we're going to fucking... This isn't going to be pretty. Don't make me look stupid because I extended my hand to you. It is easy to invent ulterior motives, toxic patterns, or envision enemies arrayed against us. Paranoia can sound like wisdom when we have been hurt. Let go of past darkness and let a new day dawn. It's funny because a lot of what I tell my twin flame, he doesn't believe. He can't believe it. I can't make him. I can't fucking make him. Like something simplistic, like he doesn't believe that he's the only person I've slept with since I slept with him. All those years ago. He doesn't believe it. I can't fully prove it, but he doesn't believe it. I can't make you believe it, bro. You were literally the only person I've slept with. You were the only person I gave myself to. All these years. There's a lot of people that don't believe it, but he needs to. But he won't. Why won't he? Because he can't. I don't know why. Nah, she had to be fucking around. Nah, she's fucking... And then if he doesn't believe it, then he also believes I'm lying about other things. You know what I mean? When I say I love you, what do you think? Is that just something you've heard people say? Because that's not what that means, bro. I'm not just other people when I'm saying what I'm saying. You know? And it's like... Paranoia can sound like wisdom when we have been... And that's it. He doesn't trust me. He doesn't... You know what I mean? And it has nothing to do with me. Why don't you believe me when I'm saying it? And that's why I was like, I'm not lying. I don't need to lie. I'm not making this up just to fucking, you know... make you feel all fucking special and warm inside. You are special, and you should feel warm about it. It's serious. I was seriously damaged, and I wouldn't let anyone in but you. Really? Fucking really, bro. I'm trying to figure it out too. What did I figure out? Because he's gentle. He's not pushy. He's not cocky. He's not trying to push his agenda. He's just kind. I don't feel like I have to put up a guard with him. I just put up guards. I don't, you know what I mean? In the sense of, you know, he's not dominating. It's funny. My brother said a lot, you just need one of these big ass burly dudes to hold you down. It's like, maybe I just need a soft dude. You know what I mean? And if that was a weight, I'm not saying he's a soft guy, but yeah, he's gentle. He's soft. He's a fucking water sign, so he's very, you know what I mean? He's not all loud like us and all, you know, fucking look at me and, you know what I mean, you know, fucking burning fire and shit and through the streets. We're streaking! Who's streaking? He doesn't have all that. But at the same time, I think that, you know, that's also an attraction. Is like, I could put my guards down with you. I don't have to stand up all tall. I don't feel... And that's it, is I don't feel like I feel safe in the sense of I don't feel like you're a fucking threat. If there was a word to say, if there was a, you know, kind of a dumb it down, I don't feel like he's threatening. He didn't feel like a threat. Therefore, I could let my guards down, and letting my guards down, that allowed in a way that I'd never been. And that's what you really want, is somebody that you can let your guards down, where you don't have to fucking always, you know what I mean, stand up straight. And that's what we were talking about too. Is like, I can let my guards down with each of them so much. You know what I mean? But eventually, I just want to take it all off. I want to take off the armor, bro. I'll have to put on the armor, God, every day. Don't make me fucking pull out the armor with you. I don't want to have to protect myself from you. You know what I mean? I don't want to have to fucking be this with you. And that's it too, is like, it's a good thing. I don't have to be spiritual with him. Everybody else looks at me as spiritual. You know, they look at me with fear of, you know, my spiritual position. And don't get me wrong, yeah, he obviously hit, you know, over the summer, he said something about that. It was like, you know, you just need to put down your Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Man, was I at him for saying some shit like that. It's fine. At least he sees them as Yu-Gi-Oh, because everybody else sees them as devil cards, and, you know, I do have the demon cards. But in the sense of, you know, I don't have to be that. I don't have to be what I have to be for everyone else when I'm with you. And that's what you really want in that space when you come home. It's like, I want to be able to take this all off and just come home and be a naked version of myself, where I can be ugly and funny and pretty and silly and, you know what I mean, sad. I can be just, you know what I mean, I don't have to hold up anything when I come home. And that goes back to my kids too. It's like, you know, a lot of teaching is like, I can look at my kids and say, I'm doing shadow work. And they know what that means, because it's happened. It's been, you know what I mean? They know she's going through her feelings. She's having hard memories. She's trying to heal stuff. She hurts. They've seen it for 2 years now. They know what that means. And they've learned to accept it and be respectful and nurturing about it. I don't have to hide them. You know what I mean? Whereas before, I used to have to like pull it together before they get home. Don't let your kids see you like this. Don't let your kids see you cry. In the beginning, they would ask me, and then after so many stories of me telling them how bad it was, they don't want to know anymore. They know it's bad. Like, every time we ask you something, you tell us the most horrific thing. I was like, I know, I had a really bad life. And they have compassion for me. And they don't need to know all the details. They just, that's it. In the beginning, they want to know, what you doing, Mom? What you doing, Mom? What you doing, Mom? What you doing? And they're like, oh, I know what she's doing. It's nothing fun. And we need to normalize that. In all conversations. When I tell people I specialize in shadow work, they don't know what that means. They need to know what their shadow is. They need to know that terminology. They need to become familiar with it. Become familiar with the practices of it. Become familiar with what it entails. Because that's what we're moving towards. We're moving towards healing, but how do you heal? What are we looking to heal? Our shadows. And start having the conversations. Start spreading the word. Start using lingo. You know what I mean? That's how we do. Let's start a fire. You know what I mean? Make it stick like glue and spread like fire. And that's it. It's like, we're changing things. You know what I mean? In our own, and change it around it by, you know what I mean? That's it. Reach one, teach one. And that's it. I tell everyone. I specialize in shadow work. What's that? Intensive inner child trauma healing. Parts of you that you deny of yourself, whether it been something that someone said to you, or part of you that you just don't want to acknowledge that you were. So then you see it in other people and you don't like what you see because you haven't been able to see yourself in that position. Really? It's very much intensive psychological treatment, but we do it on a spiritual level called shadow work. Do you have a degree? Yeah. I was about to say something inappropriate. Hey, I love you guys. I'm chilling like a villain. I guess I'm always the bad guy in your story. I'm just grounding. We just ate. I'm gonna curl up with the kids till it gets dark. Just hang out with, watch some movies or something. I don't know, pass out, and then once it gets dark, I go to work, go make us our daily bread and whatnot. And then tomorrow's Thursday. It's our Jupiter day, so we'll catch our blessings for our hard work, and then we'll face a really, a weekend. We got real intense shadow work. We get Wednesday is like a practice game. And then Friday, Saturday is when it hits real hard, where by then we know what we're facing. You know what I mean? Our foundations are already starting to rock. I heard Dwayne Rock Johnson. Okay. I guess. What does he have to do with this? Interesting. They just said somebody's name that might resonate with someone. So get ready for it. What do we got on Friday? I mean, all of our stories, all of it's leading up to shining your light. We're going to be in a position where we're going to have to stand up and speak up for ourselves, and without apology. We're going to have to actually, if somebody's going to ask us if we're really that person, and we're going to have to really be that person. What person? The person that you're denying? Are you really a fucking drunk? Are you really fucking smoking crack? Are you really, we're really going to have to stand in our light, bro. Are you really this person? Are you really about this life? Yeah. Instead of pretending we're not. No, that's not mine. No, I don't know. This is just that. No, you don't know. I don't know. When you say it like that, it sounds a little scary. It's like we're about to get caught up. We're about to be caught up in the sense of, are you ready to stand up, or are you going to get caught up? Because that's it. That's the only difference, dude. Whatever you did, whatever you are, wherever you know what I mean, however you get down, shame is you denying it. When you look somebody in their motherfucking face and say, yeah, bro, I suck one hell of a dick, then that's it. The fuck you gonna say? You want to say something else? You want to say something else? And that's just it. If somebody's gonna... I really hope that's not what somebody asked me on a Friday. Did you suck his dick? I feel like I've been answering that question for like 2 years now. Thought everybody knew I did. Every time I just keep seeing Marshall. Oh God, I'm never gonna get that image out of my head. Put your picture on my wall. Oh, I love my twin flames so much. How are you guys ever? Anybody ever trying to compete with our relationship, you're just gonna fail. It's just fucked up. Trying to compete with any of my fucked up relationships, you're gonna fail. Let's just have our own fucked up relationship. I have plenty of room for more fucked up relationships. It's like nobody could have done that better than me. But because it's him, it's way better than me. I feel like if anybody should have been a spokesperson, it should have been Lilith. He's wearing his Lilith. The gayest shit I ever saw. And he did it with a straight face. That's my girl. Oh God. Okay, it's a good day. I'm never gonna recover. No, the recovery from this is gonna hurt. I mean, seriously, every time I sit in a quiet place, that shit is gonna pop up on me. Hey, did you see Eminem sucking dick? God has done some serious shit, dude. He's really up to the works. Alright, I love you guys. I love everyone. I hope you, there was a lot. This is a loaded message. I don't even know what to label it, to be honest. I'm gonna put his picture on it, though. I'm his biggest fan. Likewise, right? That's what I heard. Oh God, I can't hold it in. It's too much joy. I was like, I fucking hate you. I fucking hate you. Oh God, I caught it like 30 minutes after he did it. I was like, oh, this is gonna be the biggest thing for so long. Nobody does it better. No wonder. I see Pac. No wonder he's always gonna walk away from you. This guy out here making some bad looks. Oh, come on, Pac, he said. I can't really defend you right now. We're both guilty as charged. Oh God. Alright. Again, it must be too much for him. He's looking for some missionary work. And he looks up a missionary from Jesus Christ. I could do this all day all by myself. Hey, I love you guys. Have a good day. Later, haters.